Hey, what's up YouTube? It's IazerXD here, bringing you an updated deck profile on my Odd Eyes Magician Pendulum deck. Now, I made a video a few days ago, and this was prior to the April 2016 ban list. So basically, what I had to do to change it was to take out 2 copies of Wisdom Eye Magician because it's limited to 1 now, and then I also had to take out 3 copies of Wavering Eyes because that's now a ban card. So to make this deck, well, tournament legal, I had to take those cards out and try and find some suitable replacements. As always, I'm using my iPhone to film this, so it's obviously going to be shaky, as I can tell now just by looking at it. So I do apologise, and I hope you'll stay with me throughout this video and for the many more videos to come. If you like what you see here, feel free to like and subscribe, and if you're not happy with this deck profile or believe it could be improved in a number of ways, then feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. So I've already taken up a minute of your time, so without further ado, I'll get cracking. As always, we'll start with the main deck, and now, as always, we're going to run 3 Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragons. Now, I'm not sure if you actually saw my last video, the pre-April 2016 ban list, but I've swapped out the common for the ultimate rare, which I acquired from my friend earlier today. So a big shout out to him. Oh, just further move that way across there. There we go, just so we got a bit more room. Then we got 3 copies of Oath Dragon Magician once again. Now only 1 copy of Wisdom Eye Magician because, as I said, it's been limited to 1, which does suck because it was one of the main foundations of the Odd Eyes Pendulum deck, or at least mine in general. And its ability to just pop and blow up while it's in the scale, and then you replace it with something else. That was a great card for me. And then after it was blown up, I could pendulum summon it back if I had the scale and easily make a rank 4. As like last time, we run 3 Dragon Pit Magicians. And this is another change to accommodate the 2 allocated slots. I've decided to chuck in an extra Dragon Pulse Magician. I felt that maybe an extra Dragon Pulse would be okay because it's got a pretty decent pendulum ability to pop an opponent's monster just by simply discarding a pendulum monster. And I've got ways to actually return those discarded pendulum monsters back from my graveyard to my hand or to the field. So I'm not too bothered about chucking another one in there. Basically sticking with most of the same lineup. We've got Zhang Qi and Zhang Sheng Magician respectively. A Time Breaker again, and a Noble Dragon Magician. So that's all my Odd Eyes and Magicians there. And really we only have 2 non-magician pendulum monsters. Sorry, 3. Hang on, 3 or 4. Sorry. It's very late where I am now, so I am feeling very tired. So I apologise for any mistakes I make. Performer Pal, Skull Crobat Joker, the Stratos of the deck. Simply normal summon it to add a Odd Eyes or Magician Pendulum from your deck to your hand. So it's great. Splash Mammoth and Trump Girl. These are 2 of the 3 ways to fuse in this deck. Mainly the 2 monsters I go for, or 2 copies of each monsters, is Vortex Dragon, Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon, and Beast Eyes Pendulum Dragon. I only go for Rune Eyes if I know I can get a quick victory, and you know it's assured, and I know for a fact they've not got any spells or traps to really bugger me over, so to speak. Well, I actually sounded very British then. I apologise. I don't like that at all. Okay, 1 Magispector Unicorn. Its ability to return a pendulum monster and one of your opponent's monsters back from the field to the hand is a good way to clean up a field. Say you've got a Blue Eyes or a Dark Magician on the field, simply return this card because it can be used on itself back to your hand and that Blue Eyes, and you've got an open field to attack them with. As the last video, my last deck profile, an Odd Eyes Saber Dragon and a Tuner Magician. I want to run 2 tunings, but I feel as though 2 tuners would be enough for this deck. And I know that this has an ability to be special summoned back from a graveyard if need be, as long as you've got 2 Magician Pendulum monsters in each scale. And obviously, if I don't use an Odd Eyes monster with Noble Dragon Magician. It gets placed at the bottom of the deck, which then allows it to be re-added back to your hand with Pendulum Core right here. And leading on to the spells is obviously 3 Pendulum Cores. Basically the big searcher in this deck. It doesn't actually search for an odd eyes, but it searches for your scale, whether it's scale 8s or your lower scales, scales 1 and 3 respectively. Now, because I had to take 3 Wavering Eyes, I've actually put in an extra copy of Sky Iris, because it's just something to help me. I can blow up, say, a pendulum scale, or just a useless monster that I've got on the field, to simply add an odd eyes from my deck to my hand, which can then obviously help me bring out the fusions, the XCs, the synchros, etc. Whew. 1 odd eyes fusion as before. I would like a second copy of this, but unless I can acquire some decent, more odd eyes fusions when we get released, or if they get released, but I think I'll stick to 1. Twin Twisters is another card I took out. Sorry, I put in to replace Wavering Eyes. Just simply discarding card, whether it's a monster, spell, or trap. I can pop my scale if need be, or take out my opponent's back row. And obviously, if I was to ditch a pendulum monster, I've got ways to, recycle it. Swords, I simply have swords in here if I need to stall. If I feel as though I'm not getting anywhere and I have swords, I can just place it, activate it, sorry, and then they can't attack for 3 turns. Provided they don't destroy it. Pot of Riches, sorry. Basically, it just allows me to recycle pendulum monsters from my graveyard or my face-up extra deck. Yep, and that's it for the spells. Then we have 2 Pendulum Backs. It's another great way to recycle, provided I actually have a scale. And then 2 Pendulum Reborns. I originally ran 2 in my previous deck, and I wanted to run a 3rd, but I felt that the only cards I would really use this on would be Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, if I was to use it as overlay material and it was sent to a graveyard. So Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon or Dragon Pit at a push, so that I can get it to the field, and should it be destroyed, it goes back to the extra deck face up, and then just having Oath Dragon Magician in your scale will help you add it back to your hand for when you later need it. And we have a Echo Osculation here. This was another card I put in to replace a Wavering Eyes. I simply pop a scale and draw a card, and I can do that once per turn, as it's a continuous trap card, so that's great. Well, a great choice in my opinion. A Bottomless Trap Hole. Let's be honest, every deck needs one. A Mirror Force, just in case things get a little bit rough. A Scrap Iron. Stall if you can't get anywhere. And last but not least is a Grand Horn of Heaven to deal with those other pendulum users, or those that like to special summon high monsters. I'll give you one example. My friend decided he was going to use Dragon's Mirror, banish 5 dragons from his graveyard, and bring out a 5-headed dragon. Now, in my deck, have nothing to compete with that in terms of power, so it was fairly lucky I ran one of these, just to take it out of the equation. And that's it for the main deck. And now we are on to our extra deck, where all my major plays come from. Now, in my previous video, I ran 2 copies of Rune Eyes Pendulum Dragon and a Stardust Dragon, but I took 1 copy of Rune Eyes out and the Stardust Dragon out because I felt that, I don't really use Stardust Dragon unless I played somebody who likes to spam stuff that takes me out, takes my back row or my monsters out. And I placed it in my side deck, so it's always reachable if I need it. But with Rune Eyes Pendulum Dragon, I barely ever bring one out anyway, so having 2 it takes up 1 slot I could use with something else. And actually, I've found some stuff to put in it to replace them. So, Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon, the best card in my extra deck in my opinion, just simply because its effect is OP if I can pull it off. 2 Absolute Dragons, same as last time really, no changes there. Running 3, I feel as though maybe I don't need it, but it'd be good to have. One of the new cards I put in, Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. Basically, if I'm playing somebody who likes to spam cards that blow up my monsters or spell and trap cards, so somebody who runs Photon Wyvern to take out my back row, or plays Brigeki to take out my monsters, having this here, because it will have materials, makes it, well, it's unaffected by stuff like that. And basically it's got some decent burn damage, and because I'm never actually going to use its ability to search a red eyes or bring a red eyes back or whatever it actually does, it's always going to have the materials, so the only way it leaves the field is if they destroy it by battle or was to banish it. And the other the other card I added in was number 11 Big Eye from Premium Gold 3. This is actually a card I've never actually used before, but reading its ability, it really made me think that maybe I could use it. Simply detach a material and take control of one of your opponent's monsters. If they was to bring out a really powerful monster, I don't know, 3k plus attack, simply detach, take control, and hit them with their own monster. Lastly, my last XC card, Dark Rebellion XC's Dragon. I feel as though every deck needs one. Basically because it's very easy to get out, being a rank 4, and its ability makes it very worthwhile. Now onto our fusions, 2 Vortex Dragons, same as before. I'd actually like to get 2 ultimate rare versions of those, but yeah, never mind. It's got a great ability, and obviously when it's special summoned, whether it's, you know, fusion summoned or brought back from a graveyard by another means, then it can bounce one of your opponent's attack position monsters back. 2 Beast Eyes. I just love this card. I waited so long for it to come out in the TCG. I had to literally wait until the Breakers of Shadow Special Edition to get it. Rune Eyes. As I previously stated, I took one out. I did have 2. But, you know, I barely use it. Then we have a Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon. It's something I bring out if I want to stop them using their monster's ability. Like, an example I could give you is, my friend runs a Blue Eyes deck, and he likes to spam Maiden with Eyes of Blue. So simply bringing this out stops Maiden's ability, and then I can always hit it for 2-5. And because Maiden has 0 attack points, he's going to take 2-5 damage. And plus, when it is special summoned, then I can special summon one of my Pendulum monsters that are in my scale. And normally the case here would be to bring out Dragon Pit and special it to the field, which then allows me to overlay into Absolute Dragon. So yeah, that's in there. Running 2, I think, well, running 2 or more, I think just clogs your extra deck, but that's my general opinion. If you disagree, then that's great. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Here we are. I'm about to say lastly then, but we're nowhere near last. Clearwing Synchro Dragon. I love this card. It can do so much, and I can't wait until Crystal Wing comes out. I will definitely be getting that. Scarlight, I just love this card because of its ability, and obviously it's a great dragon card. And it's part of a Red Dragon Archfiend family as well. Basically, you can activate the ability to destroy every special summoned monster on the field except itself. So if you Pendulum summon 4 monsters alongside this, and play its ability to destroy those 4, no matter what card your opponents have, they're always going to take 2k damage. And then lastly is Enlightenment Paladin, which will be coming out in place of Crystal Wing when that's released in Shining Victories. But I only run Enlightenment Paladin in case I need to recycle a spell card badly, such as Pendulum Core if a need arises, or Odd Eyes Fusion, or maybe even Swords of Revealing Light because my opponent has all these powerhouses on the field. But yeah, that's why I run a Enlightenment Paladin. So anyway guys, that's my new post-April 2016 ban list. Feel free to let me know in the comments below what you thought about it, and if you think I can make any improvements whatsoever. And again, I'm going to apologise for the shoddy camera work. I don't have the steadiest of hands at all, and hopefully in the near future I will be getting a camera and tripod. But yeah, as I said, feel free to like and subscribe, and I'm going to try and get more frequent with my content, maybe a video every 2 to 3 days. And I hope you stay tuned because, well, when Shining Victories comes out, I'll be attending the sneak peek, so there'll be that video there to come, and I'll be doing a booster box opening. So yeah, this is me signing off, and I'll see you next time.